this question, I think we need first to learn from Morgan how she started to be a kickboxer and how she started to be a kickboxing teacher or coach. So this is my first question.
Yeah, so I was always an athlete growing up, and then when I went to my first week of college, I started kickboxing. I was invited to go to a kickboxing class, and I started and I never stopped. Like, I've been doing it for 20 years now.
20 years?
Yeah,
awesome.
So, and I loved it so much. I guess just the transition from sport into a new sport.
Yeah, and it became your job, like your full-time job.
I mean, I started teaching within like 2 months.
Yeah.
So I've been teaching really since I started kickboxing.
Since you started kickboxing, that's awesome. Another question that I always ask myself, because I had the same issue. The question that we always ask ourselves: can I keep living just teaching, and this is going to be my main thing, or should I find another job or morning job and do this on the side? This struggle, do you have the same struggle that I have sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a roller coaster since then, because it takes, as with anything in life, it just takes a long time to build, you know, and I'll say I'm glad I didn't quit all the times I wanted to quit, because I almost did a lot of times, because it is challenging, and it takes time to build financially, and to build what your niche is, and honestly, to build the why in doing it, because I think when I first started, I loved being an athlete, and I still love being an athlete, but it's molded more into how I love helping people and seeing people over the years, how it changes them from the inside out.
Yeah, this is the same thing, and that's why we're doing this video and this. I created this channel because I felt that this is, even teaching is not enough. I want to send the message to everyone as much as I can, to let the people know that they need to start, because without sports in your life, sports should be like drinking water. Hey, did you drink water? Yeah. Did you work out? Yeah. It should be like a normal thing to do every day.
It should be.
So by knowing this, it should be. What do you tell your people who starts for the first time? How do you convince them to keep coming and to keep working out, or not even with you, just to work out?
Right. Well, I think there's a lot of intimidation in starting. It's like everyone's been doing it, everyone's watching me, all those fears that we have in our head, that most of them aren't true.
Yeah.
You know, and the first step is always the hardest step, because you'll be the most sore. It's the anticipation of starting, but you know, with anything, once you get a little momentum, it's easier to keep going.
Yeah.
It's always starting first. Even me, when I start something new, you know, you kind of don't want to start, but then once you just start taking one small step,
just like me
one tiny step
with you boxing.
Yeah.
Because I've been, like, my last time I was boxing, I was completely different shape-wise.
Yeah.
I was much thinner, much faster. So coming back from that, I was like, oh, should I just punch now again?
Yeah, and anything new is intimidating.
Yeah.
And you know you're going to be sore. It's always hardest. With working out, you're the most out of shape.
Yeah.
When you start.
Yeah.
It's always going to be the hardest thing.
Wait on that, Morgan. We're going to get to the body shape and the physical issues that comes with the people starting.
Yeah.
But the first question that I want to ask again about the emotional part, the psychological part. That's, I think, the main issue, not the physical part. The physical part, I'm with you 100% that people can start and then they feel sore and then they stop again.
Yeah.
But I mean the psychological part. What's gonna convince me to leave the couch and my pizza and my 2 liters of Pepsi or Coke, and then start my day and go work out and do something like physical? How can I mentally switch to, I need this, I need to go do this instead of sitting down on the couch and
I think you have to hit a point where you're just sick and tired of the place you're at. You're tired of feeling lazy and lethargic. You know, you have to get to a sick and tired moment, and that's when anything tired of being the way that you are. It's the same with movement.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
know? It has to be an inside change. Your motivation can't be vacation and being in a bikini. It has to be bigger than that.
You're right. Yeah.
Where you're tired of it. Once you do start, then your why might change.
You're right. Yeah. So the main issue now is that I feel that there is a lot of people who think or talk more than doing. They tell you, oh, I'm gonna start this. I signed up in this gym
Yeah.
for 2 years and I never went there. I never visited the gym. Why? Because it's cheap and I wanted to change. I needed to do that. So I paid like $20 a year, but I
Right.
never went. So what do you think is going on in their mind? Why they don't start? Why I don't know.
It's just lack of first step.
Yeah,
You know?
the lack of first step. So I just wanted to give the people the ideas or the things that they should put in their mind
Yeah.
to convince them to start. So
Well, the reason I think I've done this so long is because life is stressful,
yeah,
and it's helped me. Movement and sport has helped me to deal with life.
yeah,
It's like literally releases all of that stress, especially kickboxing.
we all have problems.
Yeah, we
I'm
all
sure
do.
nobody is.
And life is
It's
a roller
like-
coaster,
You're right.
and it is definitely it's more than just body. It's like I need this mentally
Yeah.
for stress relief.
And it's always coming back, like, for example, if you're stressed because of your work or your whatever, sometimes the stress comes from the family, sometimes comes from the boyfriend or your husband or your second half.
Yeah.
But it's always coming back and forth. So if you don't have the relief, I think that's the main issue. So okay, I came, I started working out, I started my day, and now I'm sore. Getting
Yeah.
back to the physical part. So the physical part, if I am sore, what do you think I should do?
Well,
I'm
hydrate.
sorry. Hydrate. Okay.
Hydrate. I mean, once you start movement, you start eating better. Just
Yeah.
naturally, you will. Epsom salt baths, massage. You know, taking care of yourself.
All right. So
And doing it again.
Epsom salt
Epsom salt baths, like
Bath,
taking baths,
yeah.
getting a massage.
and
But I mean, you are going to be sore because your
Yeah.
muscles are changing.
yeah. The iced tub. Do you suggest iced tub or did you
For some
try?
things, it's pretty extreme.
It is.
Yeah.
Try it.
I don't like to be cold, so
3
I'd rather
minutes.
get a hot massage.
Yeah, right. It's much
But
better.
that's me.
Much easier.
And just getting enough rest, all of that is equally as important.
Yeah.
You know, your recovery is as important as training. And I didn't know that when I started. When I was younger, I just went all the time.
All the time.
But your body will plateau. You won't be as strong.
Yeah, you're
You'll
right.
get burned out.
That's right. So do you think also, so sending another message to the other people, to the CrossFit people, to the boxing, kickboxers, MMAs, all these people, do you think there is a limit to work out a day or a limit to stop? Like tell myself, oh, I need to stop. I'm physically
Well,
drained.
there's times in kickboxing competing where you do 2 days. You know, there's a time and place for that, but to sustain that over the long term and for functional movement, I want to be doing this stuff when I'm 90. So
Yeah.
I'm much more aware of making sure that my body's stretched out, that all my muscles are stabilized. The
Yeah.
functional movement, not just doing so much repetitive movement all the time,
Yeah.
which a lot of those sports are. You know, kickboxing is the same repetition,
Yeah.
which is good for fighting. But
So do you think that you would do some